Imagine floating outside your own body, watching yourself from above as if observing a stranger. For centuries, countless individuals have reported experiencing this surreal phenomenon known as an out-of-body experience, or an OBE. From near-death encounters to moments of extreme physical exertion, these experiences defy conventional understanding and raise profound questions about consciousness. Are OBEs simply hallucinations triggered by the brain's misfiring signals, or do they hint at a deeper mystery of existence? While science offers theories rooted in neurology and psychology, several intriguing case studies challenge our perceptions and invite us to explore the unknown. Despite numerous studies attempting to unravel the enigma, no definitive explanation has been found. Researchers largely agree that OBEs arise from a combination of psychological and neurological factors, with some experts suggesting they are hallucinations produced by the brain's inability to process sensory information correctly. Nevertheless, certain case studies stand out due to their intriguing details and potential implications. While mainstream science tends to explain OBEs through neurological and psychological mechanisms, parapsychology and occult literature suggest a different interpretation. Writers in these fields propose that OBEs are not mere hallucinations, but rather evidence of a soul, spirit, or subtle body capable of detaching from the physical form and traveling to distant locations. This notion dates back to the Victorian era, where the phenomenon was commonly referred to as travelling clairvoyance in spiritualist literature. In ancient Indian scriptures, OBEs are described as a state of consciousness known as turiya, which can be achieved through deep yogic and meditative practices. Practitioners believe that during turiya, the mind and body separate, allowing the yogi to explore higher planes of existence in what is known as the Vigyan Dehi, or scientific body. Theosophists and early parapsychologists have also contributed to the study of OBEs. Arthur Powell, 1927, and Sylvan Muldoon, 1936, supported the concept of an etheric body that could leave the physical form, a belief shared by other occult writers such as Ralph Shirley and Douglas Baker. Frederick Myers, a prominent psychical researcher, coined the term psychical excursion to describe OBEs and compiled numerous case studies in the 1886 book Phantasms of the Living, co-authored with Edmund Gurney and Frank Podmore. However, the scientific community largely criticized their work due to the anecdotal nature of the evidence. Perhaps one of the most famous OBE cases in parapsychology is the 1977 Maria case from Harborview Medical Center. Maria, a hospital patient, claimed to have floated outside her body and observed a tennis shoe on a third-floor window ledge. Her social worker, Kimberly Clark, later verified the shoe's presence, leading many to consider it compelling evidence of a genuine OBE. However, skeptics such as Richard Wiseman and researchers in 1996 suggested that the shoe could have been visible from within the hospital, casting doubt on Maria's account. Carlos Osis, another parapsychologist, conducted experiments with psychic Alex Tanous in the 1970s, attempting to validate OBEs under controlled conditions. Tanous was tasked with identifying coloured targets placed in remote locations during his OBEs. Although he had a higher than chance success rate, critics argue that the results were statistically insignificant. Despite the skepticism, the idea of astral projection, where an individual's astral body travels beyond the physical realm, remains popular in esoteric traditions. Whether seen as a spiritual phenomenon or a psychological illusion, OBEs continue to challenge our perceptions of reality and consciousness. In 2014, researchers at the University of Ottawa encountered a unique case. A 24-year-old Canadian psychology student who claimed she could voluntarily induce an OBE at any time. According to the young woman, she had discovered this ability during preschool, using it as a way to pass the time before falling asleep. What surprised her the most, however, was learning that not everyone could do the same. The student described her experience as feeling herself rotating above her physical form, yet she remained fully aware that she was not actually moving. Researchers Claude Messier and Andrea M. Smith conducted a brain scan while she self-induced an OBE, revealing peculiar neurological activity. Unlike typical visualization exercises that activate both hemispheres of the brain, her OBE was confined to the left side. Additionally, her visual cortex was deactivated, a finding contrary to expectations, as visualization usually stimulates this area. The implications of this study were striking. Could OBEs be a latent ability we all possess but lose over time? Or was this student an anomaly with a unique neurological makeup? Although the researchers acknowledged the study's limitations, particularly the reliance on self-reported experiences, they concluded that voluntary OBEs warrant further scientific exploration. Interestingly, the woman's experience suggests a possible link between OBEs and relaxation states. Some experts believe that inducing a state of mind awake, body asleep could facilitate OBEs, potentially explaining why she found it easier to leave her body during moments of quiet and rest. Such findings point to the need for further research into the relationship between sleep, consciousness, and OBEs. In 1968, Dr. Charles Tart, a psychologist at the University of California, Davis, investigated the case of an anonymous woman, later known as Miss Z. She claimed to have the ability to leave her body at will and offered to demonstrate under laboratory conditions. To test her claim, Tart placed a randomly chosen number on a shelf above Miss Z's bed, ensuring it was out of her physical line of sight. The experiment was conducted under carefully controlled conditions, with Tart remaining in the room to prevent any possible trickery. Astonishingly, when Miss Z awoke, she accurately identified the number, a 5. Skeptical, Tart and his assistants tried to see if the number could have been inadvertently revealed through reflections in the room, but their tests ruled out any such possibility. Despite this compelling result, Miss Z's psychological profile raised questions. Tart described her as intelligent and insightful, yet also psychologically troubled to the extent that she exhibited signs of schizophrenia. Miss Z's case remains controversial. Was she truly experiencing an OBE, or was her perception influenced by an altered state of consciousness? Critics argue that the study lacked stringent controls, while proponents see it as potential evidence of consciousness existing outside the body. Miss Z's experience also sheds light on the role of belief systems in OBEs. Individuals with strong spiritual or metaphysical beliefs may be more likely to interpret such experiences as evidence of an external soul or consciousness. Whether these experiences are psychological coping mechanisms or genuine spiritual phenomena remains a topic of debate. In 2014, a large-scale study across 15 hospitals in the US, UK, and Austria sought to investigate OBEs during cardiac arrest resuscitations. Hospitals strategically placed shelves with hidden images above resuscitation areas, visible only from a ceiling perspective, to test the claims of those who reported seeing events from an out-of-body vantage point. Among the survivors interviewed, one case stood out: a 57-year-old man who vividly recalled observing his resuscitation from the corner of the room. He described in detail the medical procedures, the staff present, and even the sounds of the automated external defibrillator, a detail that aligned with his medical records. Unfortunately, the man's resuscitation occurred in an area where no shelves with hidden images had been placed, preventing researchers from further verifying his claims. Nevertheless, his precise recollection of the events occurring while he was clinically unconscious raised significant questions about the nature of consciousness and its potential to persist beyond bodily awareness. Skeptics argue that the experience could be attributed to residual awareness or a reconstruction of events based on prior medical knowledge. However, proponents suggest that such cases point to the possibility of consciousness transcending physical limitations. This case highlights the need for more rigorous scientific controls in studying OBEs during medical emergencies. The placement of visual targets in all resuscitation rooms, combined with enhanced patient interviews, could provide more concrete evidence in the future. A more recent study delved into the potential link between OBEs and vestibular disorders, which affect the inner ear's balance and spatial orientation functions. Neuroscientist Christopher Lopez and vestibular disorder specialist Maya Elzir conducted research on 210 patients suffering from chronic dizziness and compared them to 210 control participants without dizziness. The results were striking. 14% of the patients with dizziness reported experiencing OBEs, compared to only 5% of those without dizziness. Moreover, individuals who also suffered from anxiety or depression were more likely to report OBEs, suggesting a complex interplay between psychological and physiological factors. Researchers propose that damage to the vestibular system might contribute to OBEs by disrupting the brain's ability to accurately process spatial and bodily awareness. In many cases, patients reported OBEs only after experiencing dizziness for the first time, hinting at a direct neurological connection. This study provided crucial insights into the physiological underpinnings of OBEs and reinforced the notion that these experiences are closely tied to our brain's processing of balance and self-location. Despite years of study and numerous case reports, OBEs remain an unsolved puzzle. Scientific explanations continue to evolve, with theories ranging from neurological misfires to psychological coping mechanisms. The study of OBEs not only challenges our understanding of consciousness, but also raises profound questions about perception, identity, and the nature of reality itself. Whether OBEs are purely a trick of the mind or evidence of something more remains to be seen. Until then, these case studies continue to intrigue, mystify, and inspire deeper inquiry into the vast unknown territory of human consciousness.